At least 17 workers were reportedly crushed to death and 3 others were injured after a crane collapsed in India's Maharashtra. The crane crumbled on a bridge slab during the construction of the Samruddhi Express highway in Thane district. Maharashtra's Deputy Chief Minister announced that an inquiry has been ordered into the incident. Soon after the mishap, police, fire brigade and National Disaster Response Force teams were deployed for search and rescue. The 3 injured workers were rushed to a nearby hospital. At least 3 people, including 2 home guards, were killed and several were injured in clashes that broke out during a procession taken out by the Bajrang Dal and the Vishwa Hindu Parishad in India's state of Haryana. As communal violence flared in Haryana's new district, internet services were suspended and prohibitory orders imposed. According to Haryana's Home Minister, adequate force were being deployed and all those stranded in different areas of Meerut region were being rescued. Now, as per reports, over 3,000 people were being held hostage in a temple. They were evacuated late in the evening. The ousted President Mohamed Bazoum met with Chadian President Mohamed Idriss Deby. This is the first public appearance by the president since being driven out of office. The ousted leader could be seen smiling in the photos posted on Twitter. The president of Chad is in Niger to mediate between the coup leaders and the government. The coup that unfolded has raised fears for the security of the surrounding region as well. The United States and other Western states have troops in Niger and had been working with the government battling militant forces linked to Islamic State and also Al-Qaeda. Myanmar's top court has ordered a partial pardon to the former leader Aung San Suu Kyi for 5 of the numerous offences levied against her. Her sentence has been shortened by 6 years. The 78-year-old Nobel laureate was sentenced to 33 years imprisonment over multiple charges. She has been in detention since the military junta seized power in 2021 coup. The former leader is appealing against convictions ranging from election fraud to corruption. Now, while reports of a pardon pour in, sources also say that she will be kept in detention. Suu Kyi was first placed under house arrest in 1989. This after huge protests broke out against decades of military rule. Russian anti-aircraft units downed multiple drones targeting Moscow. But one drone struck the same high-rise tower that was hit last week as well. Moscow mayor said that one flew into the same tower at the Moskva city complex which was hit previously. And as per reports, the facade has been damaged on the 21st floor. Over 150 square meters glazing was destroyed. Russia's defense ministry said that its forces had thwarted a terrorist attack by the Kiev regime on a telegram post. New York's Roosevelt Hotel, located in Manhattan's business district, now serves as a migrant processing center. It is now operating as an asylum seeker arrival center. Now this, as New York City struggles to keep up with the continued flow of migrants. However, the shelter is at capacity and migrants are unable to get a place inside. Newly arrived migrants could be seen filling the sidewalks surrounding the hotel, and migrants have been reportedly forced to sleep on the streets. People could be seen queuing up in a long line with cardboard in hand. New York City officials earlier said that an average of 300 to 500 people arrive at the processing center on a daily basis. Ukrainian authorities dismantled a huge Soviet-era monument in response to Russia's invasion. The monument symbolized friendship between Russia and Ukraine. The Ministry of Culture of Ukraine said that the hammer and sickle emblem would be replaced by a trizub, which is a three-pronged emblem of Ukraine. The work is scheduled to be completed by Ukraine's Independence Day, that is on 24th of August. According to the city's mayor, the 8-meter bronze statue was located underneath a giant titanium People's Friendship Arch erected back in 1982 to commemorate the 60th anniversary of the Soviet Union. A Moscow court upheld the verdict against Russian opposition figure Vladimir Kara-Murza Jr. Kara-Murza was a journalist and a top Kremlin foe. He was found guilty of treason and was sentenced to 25 years in prison in April. The charges against Kara-Murza stem from his March 2022 speech to the Arizona House of Representatives, in which he condemned Russia's quote-unquote special military operation in Ukraine. It was after the start of conflict with Ukraine in February that Russia adopted a law criminalizing the spreading of quote-unquote false information. Now, thousands of Bulgarians protested outside the court building in Sofia to call for stronger measures to tackle violence against women. Crowds gathered in the capital city and more than 40 towns across the country. As per the state media, the protest took place after a man accused of wounding his girlfriend with a knife and leaving her with over 400 stitches was initially released without charge. The suspect is now in pre-trial detention. A study published in November by the National Statistical Institute showed almost a third of girls in Bulgaria have experienced physical or emotional abuse by either of their parents during their childhood. North Carolina man who drove his car into a group of migrant workers in a Walmart parking lot, injured 6 men, turned himself into police. Daniel Gonzalez, he's 68 years old, surrendered at the Lincoln Police Department with several relatives by his side. The department said in a statement that his family members told detectives that Gonzalez had hit the gas pedal accidentally while trying to park his car and left the scene in panic. A giant glowing sign of X no longer marks the spot on the San Francisco high-rise of Elon Musk's social media giant company, formerly known as Twitter. The X logo had been erected atop the building on 28th of July. The city building department logged 24 complaints after a weekend of the Big X on Market Street. Residents complained about the intrusive lights. The move followed a post from billionaire Elon Musk, who acquired the company, announcing the newly named firm would remain in San Francisco. Now, Israel has installed a new artificial intelligence-based system that helps protect a maritime area larger than the country itself. It helps categorize drones depending on size, shape, and any behavior deemed suspicious. Huge natural gas deposits were discovered in the last Mediterranean over the past 15 years that turned Israel into an energy exporter, but not without a cost. It also gave its enemies a slew of new targets. Israel is relying on AI while offshore activity is peaking. 4 groups bid in its latest tender for offshore drilling, and there are plans to bring a floating liquefied natural gas terminal to boost exports. Environmentalists in Japan's Fukushima have voiced their opposition to Tokyo's plan to dump Fukushima Daiichi's nuclear reactor water into the Pacific. The Japanese government decided to filter and dilute the nuclear contaminated water in April of 2021. Tokyo has disregarded the domestic and foreign questioning and criticism of the move. Japan is now positioned to lay the wastewater off into the sea. Tokyo claims that the water is being brought to safe levels of discharge. Newly minted world record breaker Christian Harila is done with 8,000-meter mountains and is ready for a quote-unquote normal life. This after achieving her goal of giving women a rare role model in extreme climbing. The 37-year-old Norwegian and her Nepali guide, Tenzin Sherpa, became the fastest people to summit the world's 14 highest mountains after reaching the top of mighty K2 in Pakistan's Himalayas. Together, they completed the feat in 3 months and 1 day, surpassing Nepal-born British adventurer Nirmal Purja's record set in 2019 of 6 months and 6 days. A UNESCO Heritage Committee stopped short of listing Australia's Great Barrier Reef as an endangered site. However, the agency warned that the world's biggest coral reef remains under serious threat from pollution and rising ocean temperatures. Australia has been lobbying for years to keep the reef off the risk list as it could lead to losing the reef's heritage status. The reef contributes about $6 billion to the economy and supports 64,000 jobs. In November of 2022, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization etched the site on the danger list. This after frequent coral bleaching events came to surface. Chinese President Xi Jinping has demanded all-out rescue and search of the people missing or trapped during the floods. This after at least 11 have been killed and 27 are missing as torrential rain continues to pelt Beijing. Non-stop rainfall continues to lash the country for a 4th day. Rivers have swollen to dangerous levels, prompting Beijing to use a flood storage reservoir for the first time. China's capital city has sealed off over 100 mountain roads and has evacuated more than 52,000 people from their homes. While Typhoon Doksuri has weakened, authorities have warned that risks of further floods and other geological disasters still remain. Artificial intelligence is taking center stage like never before. Companies in the S&P 500 are talking up AI during their recent quarterly conference calls, with mentions surging to 827 times, more than double compared to the previous quarter. Technology giants like Intel, Alphabet and Microsoft are leading the charge, while even non-tech companies are embracing AI to boost efficiency and offer new services. Wall Street's overwhelming optimism about generative AI and related technologies is fueling a 37% surge in the Nasdaq and a 20% gain in the S&P 500. In July, India's manufacturing activity continued to show resilience. with a second consecutive month of easing growth. The Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index, compiled by S&P Global, dipped slightly to 57.7 but remained above the 50 mark, indicating expansion. New orders remained strong and foreign demand boosted exports at the fastest pace since November. Optimism among firms led to increased hiring as well. However, there are concerns about rising input prices and inflation. HSBC, Europe's largest bank, has reported impressive financial results for the first half of the year. Net profit more than doubled to $18 billion, while profit before tax rose by 147% to almost $22 billion, including gains from acquisitions. The bank's board has approved the second interim dividends of $0.10 per share and a share buyback of up to $2 billion. HSBC's strong performance was driven by higher net interest income and growth in fee and trading income.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.